All right, it's a little chilly today, 15 degrees in Tokyo. I decided to ride my CRF instead today. It's been a little while since I've taken it out to work. I usually commute on my 50cc bikes these days, but yeah, let's see. I wonder how I get my live stream. Can't find it, huh? Oh, there we go. Alright. Here we go, heading to work. So, I started from near where I was yesterday. I don't think a lot of you guys watched, but you know, if you did, thank you. There's a road that I went up yesterday that was very, very narrow and kind of a little bit of a wild street. One of the viewers was a little surprised to see how narrow the road can be. Well, I decided to start here instead today because I want to show you guys another street. It's a street that I sometimes use at night if I need to go to the supermarket, and it is a public road, but it's super, super sketchy at night. This area back here is also really relaxing and comforting to drive around. Wish the road condition was a little better, but I know they're doing some construction right now. Find it. I'll tell you every hill. Just keep going up, 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 up. It's really narrow. Like, it is two-way, so you do have to be super careful. I've had scooters or bicycles come up the road, and yeah, if you're speeding, if you're going, I guess not even speeding, the speed limit on the road should be 30, but if you're going 30, it's pretty scary. It's kind of easy to have an accident, I would assume. Excuse me. Yeah, this road, you can see there's no street lights. It's really dark, and at night it's just pitch black. I very often see tanuki or other animals back here. I've only once seen a person walking down this road at night. I think most people are too scared to use this road at night on foot. Bicycles usually have a headlight. Motorbikes, cars have headlights, so I think those people don't really care as much. But man, walking down this road would be pretty terrifying. And you come out to this farm. Again, I don't think this is what people imagine when they hear Tokyo. But this is technically Tokyo. And this is technically a prefectural road. I forgot the road number, but I think it's like Prefectural Road 155 or something. You got a nice farm and farmers out there working. Oh. never seen that before. I think they're trying to figure out which trees need to be cut. Every time there's a storm, something falls down, something falls into the road, there's a lot of debris. Almost every typhoon, the road is a complete mess and then it's got to be cleaned up. And there, future of Japan. There's another data center. Talked to the construction guys. They said they're building a new data center there. Maybe right here too is another data center. I think these are data centers for the telephone companies and for banks. There's a two-step turn, just like my wife, just like me. Whoa, what is that thing over there? Wow, 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 what is this thing? Wow, that is awesome. Cool. There used to be a drugstore and a little shopping center there, but I think it closed. This is what I think is data centers and offices for banks and telephone companies. It's nice to be able to do the speed limit. Oh, dude's got an HRC Honda Racing on the back of his car. Wonder if he's a Marquez supporter. You know, I haven't kept up with MotoGP like I used to. I'm so out of the loop with everything. Work really gets in the way, doesn't it? Is he still on Honda? I hope he is. I probably just put my foot in my mouth. That building there is always so mysterious to me. I don't think you're gonna catch it with the GoPro, but it's got a brick facade, which makes it look really old-fashioned. But I think there are not so many buildings with brick facades in Japan because of earthquakes. That thing is a welfare center. I did a little research into it. I believe it was built in the 60s. It's cool. It looks like an old-fashioned train station or something. This road is a really popular road with cyclists, especially on the weekends. You'll always find groups of cyclists riding together. A wide road, a long straight distance, a little bit of climb. There's climbs and descents. I think it makes it a perfect road for cyclists. And keep going way down the road. I'm not going that far today. Keep going way down the road and there's a great cafe. I think a lot of them just kind of take a break there and meet up with other cyclists. This road is one of my favorites. I can't really explain it. I've taken a few friends or people down it. They don't really have the same feeling about it that I have. I like a lot of the old fences and the old buildings, but unfortunately I think it's mixed in with too much modern stuff for people to see the appeal. When we get down to the section, I guess I'll point out the kind of old-fashioned Japanese houses and the old-fashioned wood fence around the house. So cool to me. I guess up to here it just looks like a lot of old houses, not necessarily historical, but like stuff like this is so cool. I love seeing those things. Then you got a bunch of modern stuff, and then when you get to the end, but not to the end, but when you get to this next intersection, I think it becomes a lot cooler again. See some of the more historical stuff like this. So nice. Great. And then you get back to just normal places after that. There's a temple at the corner. the cafe. I don't think I've ever actually stopped into this cafe. Yeah, these kind of traditional fences are always something I love. Lamborghini. I'm pretty happy my CRF is running good. I had a little bit of a problem with it earlier, I guess not earlier, last year. I was riding, stalled out, harder, but felt like it's a relatively no, nothing. Out that the stator burned out, the main coil that produced the electricity for the bike. One of them burned out. It doesn't seem to be an unusual problem, but it doesn't seem to be a common problem with this bike. Ordered the new parts from Honda. Strangely, the Honda dealer said they have stopped accepting requests for parts orders, but because I was a long-time customer, they made an exception for me. Nice Hornet. They made an exception for me, and I was able to get the parts, swapped it out. Bike was running fine after that. The voltage and stuff was stable, everything was good, but it did feel, I don't know, it just felt a little off the way it ran. I can't really put my finger on it, which is why I was not able to find a good way to fix it. Oh, great. Did an oil change, changed the spark plug, checked the oil filter, checked the air filter and stuff like that. Eventually, it was running fine. I'm not sure exactly what the problem was, but I'm happy I was able to. I've been a little scared to take it for a really long ride. Not scared, but, you know, concerned. If I took it all the way out to, oh, I think this light's gonna change, yeah. If I took it all the way out to Tochigi or something like that and it died, I think a tow back, flatbed truck back would be a little bit expensive, so, yeah. Good morning, Royce. A few years ago, I did have a problem with the cam chain tensioner, and I'm not sure if the problem is kind of acting up again. I think I had the problem about 20-some thousand kilometers, and I'm at 40,000, so wondering if the cam chain tensioner dies about 20,000 kilometers, but man, I hope not. It's a Saturday, so a lot of people have the day off. And I always work on Saturday and Sunday. I always feel a little, I don't know, jealous of people who get to go touring. I think the exciting spots are typically open on Saturdays and Sundays because they know a lot of tourists might come. I've had a bunch of situations where I tried to go somewhere on a Monday or a Tuesday and the spot was closed. And these days, I don't even have Tuesdays off, it's just Monday, so man. My wife filter as much as I do, and that I'm just impatient. I don't know. I think lane filtering is one of the main advantages of motorcycles and scooters. You got that narrow space that you can fit in between everybody. Why not take advantage of it, right? I've been thinking about doing this live streaming a little bit more. Don't really know which is better. I feel like the night rides are a little too dark. There's some stuff you can see, but I think the daytime you can basically see everything. And I do ride every single day. I think maybe 360 days in the year. Not 365, but man, I'm on a bike nearly every day. It would be interesting if I could do one stream every day for 1 year. It's been something I've been bouncing around in my mind. Again, not necessarily for millions of viewers or millions of views, but just to kind of do something and make myself achieve something. I love those big mirrors on these bicycles. It's like a motorcycle mirror on a bicycle. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Royce. Genski is definitely the way to go. If your job allows it, that's a big if. I've heard from some of my friends that more and more companies are starting to allow it. I think it depends on where you're located, though. Like if you're working in a city, if you're working for a company that's downtown, they're probably not going to allow it because train transportation is so good in the city. But if you're working for some place that is a little bit more in the countryside, or a place that has a parking lot, they may allow it. It's really case by case. It really depends on the company. I think my Honda Tap 2 did paperwork around there, and then with the loan was another 20,000 yen. It was 10% of the price of the bike. So like I said, it works out to be 10,000 yen a month for my loan payment, which is not so expensive. It's not really unreasonable, and it sips gas, and insurance is really cheap, and it's fun to ride. If you could, though, I think a Genski Nishu, which means a Kogata bike or 125cc bike, that lets you go up to 60 kilometers per hour, and that doesn't require you to do a two-step turn, and a lot of the 125 bikes can have a passenger. I think the enjoyment factor, especially on your day off, is a little higher with a 125 bike. There's the police station. Something else I heard, which is funny, I have yet to confirm it, but the stop line is back here, and then the crosswalk is up there. There's this big gap. It's usually about a car length or so of a gap. One of my friends told me, a Japanese friend told me, it's so that the Genski bikes, the 50cc bikes, can do their two-step turn, and they have a space to park that's between the car at the front and the crosswalk, so they have a place to sit safely. It's kind of interesting if they design the roads like that. It seems to make sense, and it seems to be true in most cases. There is sometimes a Shirobai, Japanese police bike, waiting right here. I've seen them a few times when I come down the street this way. They have nice hiding spots. Royce, you're up for a job at 819 Rental? Man. Still, I can't read the chat completely because there's a little heart mark covering it, but man. 819 Rental is a nice place. I went in and talked to the guy a few years ago. I believe it was a British guy that worked there. Really nice, really friendly, really knowledgeable. Very, very helpful. I have yet to rent a bike from them. Just a timing issue more than anything. But I want to rent a bike. And I want to rent an Ogata bike since I have an Ogata license, and go for a long trip with my wife. She doesn't like the CRF because the seat is uncomfortable. And my friend has an Address 110, a Suzuki Address 110. It's kind of a big scooter, or a medium size. I guess it's bigger than my Tact is what I want to say, but it's not quite a full big scooter. And my wife was on the back of it. I borrowed it for a week when he was on vacation. And we went a few places, and my wife said it was really, really, really comfortable. She liked it so much. Alright, time to start work. Lucky 13, huh? Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, my girlfriend wouldn't even want to sit on the GSX R125 when she visit my country. Yeah. Still looking up the job from 819 Rentals, so 125. Yeah. Yeah. My wife was really hesitant at first, but she got used to it. Yeah, you too. Thanks, Royce. Have a good one. What a cute train.